The bird flu threat is flaring across the country. Former White House COVID-19 response coordinator, Dr. Aziz Zah, saying that it is now time for new action from the White House when it comes to the bird flu. This warning comes after the Biden administration announced a $306 million package last week to address matters like early stage research and improving hospital preparedness for the virus. While many brace for the bird flu's impact on humans, the outbreak is continuing to wipe out flocks of poultry on farms. In the Northeast Oklahoma alone, about 130,000 turkeys were culled in December because of bird flu. Cullings like these are contributing to a shortage of poultry and eggs all across the country, jacking up the prices of those products. Let's bring in someone with skin in the game. Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive, Cameron Mitchell Restaurants founder and CEO, Cameron Mitchell, who operates about 69 restaurants across the country. It's so great to have you on this program. Talk to us about any impact you are seeing within the dairy, the poultry business.
Well, first, it's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon, Taylor. Thank you very much. And I will tell you right now, eggs per dozen are up almost a little over double what they normally would be right now. So that's impacting us. Fortunately for us, it's not a huge part of our business. We're not really in the breakfast segment per se, as some other company operators are. But and certainly chicken prices themselves are much higher also today.
Well, and you talk more broadly about chicken prices, right? I mean, we've done the math in the latest CPI, data is showing that food is still up, 20% in the last 4 years, right? How much of these just sort of general higher prices, chicken, steak, everything has started to really impact your business?
Well, I think there's a little bit of a misnomer there. Currently, today, as we stand, especially as we finished out 2024, our cost of goods were much lower, almost a point of total sales versus 2023. So the huge price increases what you just quoted there were front loaded in 22 and 23, and have subsided in 24 a little bit, and we've actually seen some reductions. So we're pretty comfortable today with where our cost of goods are in relation to sales overall.
Okay, so you're actually seeing prices come down a little bit year over year. Is that accurate?
That is true. We could not in 22 and 21 and 22, we could not raise our prices high enough to keep up with increased cost of goods and food prices. Today, we're actually raising our prices very, very little. We raised our prices very little in 2024 and expect 2025 to be the same, about half of what we would normally raise our prices, around 2% per year versus 4%. So, and that's a lot of it's because of the ease of pressure, not only in the cost of goods, but also labor wages have subsided a bit also along the way.
Wanted to ask you what the biggest challenge was for you in terms of your bottom line.
Well, last year in 2024, I think still labor was our biggest challenge. Yeah. Cost of goods, like I say, was down over as a percentage of sales down over 2023. But our labor, for every dollar that cost of goods was down in 24, our cost of labor was equally up. So it was more of a neutral effect on the overall P&L for the year. But labor costs are still our number one concern, even though we're seeing some ebbing and reduction on those. I will say the other thing that's helping labor costs is we have a tremendous amount of people wanting part-time jobs now in our industry, and that's helping the demand of applicants coming into our organization. So, which is helping ease labor costs a little bit.
Are they in favor of no tax on tips?
That's a sticky subject to get into. Yeah. I think I personally am not in favor of it, but I think for a multitude of reasons. But I think, and I'm not even sure it's ever going to even come to fruition at this point.
Yeah. I want to talk about broadly consumer sentiment. I heard from one restaurant owner the day after the election, people were just so relieved that it was over that sales doubled. People just are sort of exhaling that at least they have some sense of direction for the country. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that statement. Once that election was over, I mean, it was very tepid up till the election. And once the election was over, we didn't get 100% sales increase. I wish we did, but no, that was not the case. But with that said, a huge shot in the arm with sales. And, we'll see. The tail of tape really is going to be January and February here because the election's over now and that euphoria a little bit is over. So we'll see what happens. I'm still pretty optimistic about 2025 in terms of sales, environment, and consumer spending in 25.
Where should we be watching for your next location?
Well, we have 6 restaurants opening in 2024 or 25, excuse me. And our next location, we just opened in Sarasota, Florida. Our next, we have one in Birmingham, Michigan, opening in May, and then Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in end of April, early May.
I'm hearing a couple Floridas in there. I'll have to go visit. Cameron Mitchell, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you.